my show had value, and that I'm sorry, that that what I was doing had value. Had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I think this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it kind of, and then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment that of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, that or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues.
Yeah, where do I start with this one? I didn't expect this. I didn't think I would talk about her again, but I have to kind of cover the reactions to her firing. Many people on the left, like Rachel Maddow, John Lemon, they're crying racism as usual. When like something bad happens to a Black person, they immediately run to racism. I wish when I lose all my money on, let's say I have a gambling problem, oh, the casino was racist because they targeted Black people, and maybe some leftists on the comment section will say, Kitty, that's actually true. To me, actions have consequences, behaviors have consequences. You talking about 1619, left wing revisionist history, trying to say the founding of the country started at 1619. Lie. There was no country. We were a colony of the British Empire in 1619, but you want to say that's the true founding of the country, right? You want to push a narrative or a perspective. This is like brainwashing. Nicole Hannah-Jones opened our eyes. No, she didn't. She made you view certain things in a certain purview. That's all she did. To me, you just admitted that, okay, that was propaganda. Because then if you look at 1619, you find out there's a lot of inaccuracies with 1619. It's just to push this narrative to justify white guilt, or white people need to feel guilty, right? Punish them for the sins of their ancestors. When most white Americans in this country don't have any ties to slavery, yet it's white people's fault. Okay. Joy Reid has viciously mocked the tears of every white person she helped cancel over the years for some imaginary racial slight. She had zero empathy for anyone. Now she wants us to feel sorry for her. We don't. And this has been getting Megyn Kelly a lot of fire right now from the left, the woke left. And this is something, I think many conservatives agree with. Your demographics are not a qualification, nor are they an excuse. And I think that's kind of my message for a lot of these race hustlers, is you guys come across as using racism as an alibi. And the fact that, Joy Reid got fired, hey, look, she had low ratings, right? That happened to Jim Acosta. That happened to other news hosts. But all of a sudden, judged by the same standard, hey, look, your viewership is not justifying your salary. We have to let you go. We're trying to shake up the company. We're trying to compete with Fox News. We need to let you go. All of a sudden, it's racism. They always got an excuse when it happens to one of their people of their ilk. But I digress. I want to cover Don Lemon's comments, but before I cover his comments, reacting to Megyn Kelly's criticism, which I just showed you right here, about her not feeling sorry for her and mocking white people who cried over getting canceled for racial slights that are imaginary. And this is the problem that a lot of the race hustlers are going to have to confront with, is that many times people see that you're exaggerating slights and you're making it racial to justify hurting somebody for your own personal gain, for your own personal interest, right? And this to me is a sign of like ego in a little bit. Like it's kind of narcissistic to think that you can do no wrong because you happen to be born a certain skin color. And that's what I call Black privilege. You can outrage over slights, make these slights racial, and then you get people to justify firing somebody because they slighted you or you felt offended by microaggressions. Like, make it make sense. But I digress. Enough of my ranting. Here's Rachel Maddow trying to make this narrative or this claim that Joy Reid was fired for racial reasons. Let's take a look.
An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got count them, two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Phang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
Black people, man, Black America, bro, we got to stop this, man. We got to stop letting people use racism as an alibi or an excuse for when bad things happen to them to absolve themselves of personal responsibility, because this is how it's coming across, right? Like, you may make the claim, oh, all these black people are getting fired, but they're getting fired for the same reason all these white people and these white hosts are getting fired. From Jim Acosta, right? People saying Jake Tapper, all these other people on the chopping block too. And out of all of them, if you look at the data, if you look at the audience, statistically, she had no viewers damn near. And they can continue spending millions of dollars on Joy Reid without the audience to justify that. Look at Rachel Maddow. She want to talk about she's gainfully employed. She went from $30 million to $25 million. They had to give her a pay cut to keep her job. Now, I don't know if they offered Joy Reid a pay cut. I don't know what it was. But all I know is Joy Reid serves a niche audience, right? And the way she talks, she demonizes what? 60% of Americans. Talk about divisive. And this is the same argument I talk about. This is why I say I don't care about racism like that. Because at the end of the day, racism, they're a minority in this country. Racists are a minority in this country, right? And if someone doesn't want my money, right, I won't give them my money. Okay, oh, you don't want me in a store because I'm black? Oh, okay, you don't want me to watch your show because I'm white? Okay, I won't watch your show. And then you're mad that you have low ratings, Joy Reid. Whose fault is that? Who told you to cater to a niche audience? Who tell you to make your show black only? And this is the problem. The Roland Martins of the world, the Joy Reids of the world, they're going to get mad. Oh, we don't get any visibility because you serve a niche audience. That's why. When I talk, I'm saying, hey, look, my program is for Americans. Actually, it's for anybody. If you're curious about American politics from a right-leaning, independent perspective, you watch my show. You watch my channel. You watch my content. I don't try to appeal to these little racial games because at the end of the day, we all human at the end of the day. Slave was a human sin. Every civilization, every nation has participated and done slavery. Most slave owners were the same skin color as the slave. Slavery started in Europe. European on European. The Slavics, if I remember correctly. But black people want to hold it up as if it only personally affected them. And this is the problem. Y'all, like black liberals, black Democrats, y'all cry racism so often when it's merely everyday occurrence. Someone got fired for low performance. Okay, land on your feet, Joy Reid. If you really were that good, if you're really that talented, you can make it out on your own. Look at Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was fired. Did you see anyone on the right say, oh my God, he was fired because he was white? No. They were just like, hey, he had the highest rating show. Why you fired him? Oh yeah, he made these claims about the Dominion. And he got accountability. He got fired for it. But Joy Reid, what low ratings? These people, these leftists, they treat money like a charity. That's how they treated our government money too. They treat taxpayer dollars as charity for their cause. Oh, we need our people in there. You need to give money to our people. For what? No one gives money for anything. You, leftists, don't even give money for everything. Here, why you don't give all your money to some homeless black person on the street? Because you need it too. You need to be able to justify giving that money to that other person. And if it's charity, you ain't gonna give a lot. You're gonna give a percentage of your earnings to someone else that you could afford to lose. And this is the problem that they don't seem to comprehend. And now you're gonna have Dom Lennon here getting mad on a cursing spree. Warning: if you have kids around, maybe I'll try to bleep it out in this video. But if I miss it, sorry. Don Lemon is gonna get mad on Joy Reid's behalf. And look at Don Lemon. The biggest opportunity he had, he blew it. Not because of racism, not because he was gay, because of his behavior. And this is something I've been trying to hone in to Black America, is that, hey, stop letting Black people use racism as an alibi or an excuse for their own behavior. Let's get into the clip.
50 some years as a person of color. Go fuck yourself. Okay? I usually don't like to talk about her because she's one of those people, she thrives on it. She has built the second part of whatever of her career on being a troll. So this is what Megyn Kelly said about Joy Reid, right? And remember, Joy Reid is a woman, Megyn Kelly is a woman. She's supposed to be all about women and, you know, supports women. Okay, so this is what she said. Remember when Joy Reid laughingly mocked white women tears as pathetic and offensive to her? Who's crying now, Joy? Good riddance to the absolute worst person on television, and shame on NBC for letting it go on this long. And she has
So my argument here is to Don Lemon is, did Joy Reid not mock white women tears? Did she not mock? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with DEI. DEI is racism under new management, Don Lemon, and you far left people. You associate tears with a skin color is racial. You automatically make it racial. Okay, if this person of this skin color is crying, disregard their pain, disregard their concerns. Imagine if this was flipped and we said Black woman tears. When Black women are crying about struggling in America, how they can't make it in America, right? I forgot the woman name on the CNN panel. She cried about how she was always the least paid person and she worked for nothing but Democrats. When she was crying on TV, what if she was mocked for her Black woman tears? Y'all would have called it racial. But y'all doing it to white women, and then you get mad at a white woman when a Black woman's put in the same position. She's crying on TV, she's crying on the internet, and you get what you push out, you get what you dish out. It's a two-way street, and it always will be. That's human nature. If you want to push racial prejudice on people, expect to get racial prejudice back. And this is something I've been trying to warn Black America about as a conservative. Hey, we human. We are human. Y'all sitting here pretending that white people is better than y'all. Stop it, Black Democrat. Only Black Democrats think this stuff, that white people are superior to them. Only a Black Democrat. Black conservatives, we don't think this way. We just the same. Hey, if I'm in the position of power, I can be racist. If I can have prejudice, I can be racist. It don't matter what my position is. Most white people are not CEOs. Most white people aren't the most powerful people in the world. But all of a sudden, white people have white privilege. Huh? Make it make sense. That's like if I find a Black CEO and I say, oh, look, all Black people have power. Huh? Makes no damn sense. Only 1% of white people are CEOs or in this. The other 99% are just like us. But for some reason, all white people have privilege. Oh, for some reason, all white people have prejudice. Make it make sense. DEI literally teaches a racial prejudice on a certain group of people. You say it's acceptable to be racist to these people, dismissive to these people, say racial slurs to these people. These are white people, by the way. And that's wrong, because what they say, if you ignore injustice to one group, you ignore injustice to all. And y'all want to complain about a white lash. Y'all are causing the white lash. We all want to say kumbaya, colorblind society. Y'all said no. People on the left said no. And y'all going to reap what you sow. Keep playing, because I'm not going to feel any sympathy when you get the pushback.
She is an axe to grind when it comes to MSNBC. And also, this whole, she's racist, right? It's just, I'm going to give you the evidence.
This is gonna be
supposedly learned from it and then spent every day after apologizing for it and being fired for it, then spent every day proving the point that she is a racist. And not very supportive of women. If you look, all you have to do,
holding women accountable is not being supportive of women. I'm tired of this ish. I'm tired of people treating women like children. If women want equality, if women want power, women want leadership, what comes with power and leadership is criticism. And that's why I got so mad at Nikki Haley. Because when people were criticizing her, like when Vivek was criticizing her, she tried to paint Vivek as, oh, he has a problem with women. No, he has a problem with you. And you're using your gender as a shield. And this is something that many people are getting tired of with the identity politics.
the evidence is in her Google search and what she says about women, how she calls them out all the time.
Imagine men criticize each other all the time. No one says these guys are anti-men. When men say, oh man, y'all falling behind, y'all doing this, no one cries and say the criticism is anti-male. But if you flip it, you put it on women, for some reason it's anti-women. So holding women accountable, correcting women's behavior is somehow anti-women. Make it make sense.
Worst person. No, Megyn Kelly, the worst person on television was fired from NBC in the Today Show a few years ago, and that's Megyn Kelly. That's the worst person who's not on television anymore, is you. That's the worst person who's not on television.
All right, I'm done with this. Dawn didn't want to talk about worst person on television, but you got fired like she got fired. Y'all both you and her in the same boat, but she's still more successful than you. Why? Why? Like this is my problem. Like eventually the excuses they start running out. You got fired just like she got fired. Y'all in the same damn boat. You fumbled the bag with Elon Musk, and now you started your own show, and it seems like it's not getting much traction. Megyn Kelly, on the other hand, she restarted her stuff again. She learned from whatever mistake she made, and now look at her, wildly successful, right? I think she has 1 million. I think you got 1 million too, but she got 1 million subscribers, about 300,000 on average every video she puts out. She has a contract with Sirius XM or something. I forgot the radio thing she's doing. What about you, Don Lemon? And this is what I'm talking about. When you look at the merits, when you look at the results, you find out these people, they were relying on their demographics to get them ahead. And this is some of the concerns people have with DEI. This is why people want DEI out of the equation. Hey, let's remove DEI completely so we can stop making these assumptions about these people. How did Don Lemon get a show? Oh, he was a gay black man. To me, he looked mixed, but whatever. We'll give it to him. He didn't have much talent. In the background, people say he didn't have a good personality. They labeled Don Lemon a diva, demanding, right? You forgot the comments you made about Nikki Haley. She's past her prime. You remember that, Don Lemon? Oh, but Megyn Kelly hates women because she criticizes women. Like, this is the problem I have with identity politics. You criticize someone of a victim class, and all of a sudden, you're anti them. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Don Lemon, the same person on CNN, said that Nikki Haley's past her prime, and he got backlash from all women across the board, Megyn Kelly of the world. Every woman and their mama was going at Don Lemon for that comment, saying Nikki Haley was past her prime. Then Megyn Kelly comes out and says, yeah, the same way that Joy Reid used to mock white women, other women of a different race, when they cry about things that happens to them, now she's getting the same treatment, and the chickens have come home to roost. Don Lemon comes out, Megyn Kelly hates women. This is the hypocrisy. This is why no one takes a lot of these leftists seriously. When it's convenient for them, they want to play, they want to do fake, they want to feign outrage. When it's them doing the criticism, I didn't mean it to come across that way. I'm just tired. Look, this is a long-winded way of saying everyone's tired of identity politics. You want power? Get prepared for criticism. You want fame? Prepare for criticism. Prepare for people to critique you at every turn. Stop expecting sympathy from people because, I'm a black man. Oh, I'm a black woman. Oh, I was the lowest paid person. Oh, it sounds like you don't know how to negotiate. And that's to back up what I'm saying. Women tend to make less money because of actions and behaviors that they do. One action and behavior that women tend to do is they're hesitant to apply for jobs if they don't feel they meet at least 90% of the qualification. When men see a job, if a man see they could fit 60% of the qualification, they'll apply. Men are more willing to take risk in general compared to women. Men are more likely to start more businesses. Men also fail with more businesses. Men are just more naturally risk takers. Men are more likely to negotiate their salary after receiving an offer than women. We have to teach women, hey, look, you have to negotiate if you want more money. And this is something my father's always told me. This is why I don't care about the wage gap. Because to me, the wage gap just shows you the results of women's actions and behaviors as a whole. Women don't negotiate as much as men. Women don't take risk as much as men. This is why they get lower pay. Most billionaires are men. Most women, when they get their money, it's through inherited wealth. Don't shoot the messenger. The richest woman in the world is Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. How she got the money? Through divorce. She's richer than Oprah because she was married to the richest man in the world. Oprah's the only woman legitimately to earn her wealth on her own. And there's women richer than her because they were married or they inherited the wealth from their husbands after he passed away. But feminists don't want to do anything about the divorce laws. This is what I'm saying. Action speaks louder than words. Feminists say they want equality until equality comes in their face, and then it seems like they want special treatment where it benefits them, and they want equality when it benefits them. Yeah, identity politics is playing the same game. Black people want the same opportunities as other groups of people, but they don't want the same level of criticism. Make it make sense. But I digress. I'm done ranting about identity politics. But you can see why I'm tired of this stuff. I just want everyone to be judged by the same standards. That's it. That's all I want. I don't care if you're white, Asian, black. I just want everyone to be judged by the same standards. Stop having prejudice. When something bad happens to someone who happens to be black, I want the argument to be, what did you do? How did it do it? How it came about? I want racism to be the last consideration when something bad happens to a black person. With black Democrats, race is the first consideration they make. With black conservatives, race is the last consideration we make when something bad happens to us. And that's the difference. But I digress. Again, I'm done. I'm done with my rant. I promise you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you tired of identity politics? Are you tired of these people using their demographics as a shield? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.